After 5 years since the premiere and after a runtime of 1 hour, 60 minutes and 29 seconds, finally the finale of the Alice in Borderland series comes to an end. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review episode 6, aka the finale of season 3 and the entire series finale of Alice and Borderland. We had sacrifices, we had LA, hell, we had everything apart from Ji-hun appearing on the screen that would remind you of Squid Games. I've seen some comments saying that Alice in Borderland copied the homework of Squid Game Season 3 for their third season, and I think there could be some truth to that.
I see no lies detected, folks. You know, we've watched a lot of TV shows, watched a lot of movies. I don't quite recall this amount of coincidence between two shows / movies as this.
Even the mini ending as well, where it kind of shows you like all the remaining characters and how they go on about their life. Yeah. Squid Game done that as well.
Just fit. No, the scene for me is the LA scene. Same city, same ending. With like a hint towards there's going to be spin-offs in different places in the world. Like, the world's a big place, folks, right? LA is a big, famous city. I'm not going to deny that. But did it really need to be LA? Did it need to be LA?
Yeah, it could have been anywhere. Could have been somewhere.
Well, I would say, actually, I guess there's no... It just looked like LA.
Yeah, it did. I mean, either way, it was somewhere in America.
Aye.
And for all, I mean, it's just too similar, I think, to the Squid Game ending. But here... we'll talk about that when we get there. The episode starts. We're still in the game of, was it Future, what's it called? Future
Endeavours? That's what it felt like.
It was something Future, in Japan it was called Future Sugarugo. I think it was called Future Pleasures or something like that.
Something along those lines, but I thought this game was going to take up the majority of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much gets wrapped up, I'd say, within the opening 10 minutes, so... A lot of the players are in different rooms. You've still got Yuna, crying over her brother. Everyone's looking at Arisu for some help, some advice, and he manages to squeeze his last bit of, brain juice out of there, and he manages to come up with a plan that results in using the unborn baby's wristband because they need to free some people still from trapped rooms, so they manage to move around, and they put the baby's bracelet into the room that has -8, and Usagi's going to retrieve this without entering the room. She's only going to put it in there for one round. However, the door knocks the bracelet further away, so when they do go back and when everyone does regroup and she tries to retrieve it, it's slightly further away from her than she originally thought. So she gets a countdown of 10 seconds because Arisu made us well aware that 10 seconds is all you have in order to, get from door to door. And she gets like the longest 10 seconds of all time. And I get it, right? They slowed it down to try and make it dramatic, but this reminded me of any wrestling fans in the building. This reminded me of the John Cena flat out at 9.5 and just jumping up at Superman John getting up at 10 into the ring.
Compare it to like the ending scene of this game where they've got a minute to leave. That happens within like 3 seconds.
Yeah, so Usagi manages to grab it. Arisu runs over, grabs her, and the door's going to close, but then Ryuji manages to just slide in and squeeze his wheelchair in between the door and
I'm
the frame.
calling bullshit in this, right? This is a big fucking steel structure. Are you trying to tell me that some guy in a wheelchair can fucking block a door if he closes and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it just didn't fucking squish his wheelchair like a fucking tin of baked beans or something, but... Nah,
and then they all would have died.
Yeah,
and that's the problem here. There was a lot of sacrifices being made for a bunch of jobbers. Let's call a spade, man.
Yeah, but they'll manage to regroup, and essentially they get into like the last room that is leading to A5 because they determine that's the exit. And they get in there, and then all the wristbands just come off, and the sensor around their neck comes off, and I'm thinking, right, that's it, they're safe, but no, turns out there's one more roll of the dice, and they need to roll the dice and get a high enough number in order for everyone to escape. Now, there's 7 people left, 8 if you include Usagi's baby. I'm not sure how many sides this dice had on it.
But I think 7's a good number.
But they roll a 7. Let's say all 10 though made it to this point. What would have been the chances really of rolling a 10? Assuming that the dice is like a 10-sided dice. I mean, you're talking a 1 in 10 chance. That doesn't seem fair to me that they can all get into the final room, and then you've got like such an unrealistic chance of making it through. You don't think it's not? I don't think it rewards you if they all somehow made it to that final room. Then the chances of you all making it are like, extremely limited anyway.
No, I agree.
But Arisu rolls a 7. Ryuichi, he wanted to roll the dice instead, but Arisu stepped up, rolled it, and he determined that Usagi was going to be in charge now because he was going to stay behind. So in the end, he tells Ryuichi to promise him that he'll take care of Usagi and get her back to the real world.
Why the fuck should Arisu stay behind, by the way?
Yeah, I mean,
guys carried teams, right, to this point. Should he not want to be with his family?
Yeah, maybe some. I mean, that older woman at the beginning, she seemed like, I'm the oldest, I'll sack her. You young guys are the future. I mean, considering she gave that speech, she maybe not have stepped up here and been like, hold on, Arisu, you're going to have a future with your kid, I'll stay behind.
I'll be honest though, I think the two people that died probably would have maybe gave themselves up. The junkie and the brother, but...
Maybe, potentially.
I mean, if you were ranking it, I'd say those two have got the probability at the top.
Yeah, well, I mean, Arisu gave himself up, like, so. I mean, that's the most Arisu thing I think you'll probably see. So, they managed to get out, and Arisu's left behind, and he still clears the game, though. Which...
Was it always destined to be that way?
Didn't make sense to me. Like, he cleared... If someone else stayed behind, would they have got game cleared, or would they have got game over?
I think it's more of a case that they wanted Arisu. They wanted Arisu, that... So... Again, you're right. I think it was the guy in the wheelchair. But see, the guy in the wheelchair had that deal, right? He had to kill Usagi, and I just where'd that go? That kind of just died on its arse.
Yeah. So they get out, and then we get like this big, massive flooding, and they're holding on. Also, Arisu sees Ryuichi pull a gun out and aim it at Usagi's head, but he's unable to pull the trigger. Arisu's bashing the panel to try and get out, but he can't. And then we see Banda appear, and they have a confrontation, and Banda admits that, yeah, he did all this. He brought Usagi back here to lure Arisu because the game needs players like Arisu. So, yeah, Arisu then tries to get to him, but he can't because it's all just like big screens at the end of the day. He's not really even there. And then we get like the flooding kind of intensifies, and Arisu manages to somehow get out of this room.
He rips the wall off, opens the door manually, gets out, saves 4 of them, and then he sees those 2 in the distance getting surrounded by all the water. He jumps. I mean, realistically, folks, right? See flood. I mean, yeah, I can't swim at the best of times. But see, trying to swim in water like this is practically fucking impossible.
Yeah, you even hear sometimes some of the best swimmers still get carried away. So, but
yeah, and that's in like heavy like sea currents. I mean, we are talking like tsunami here.
Yeah, Arisu helps up all the remaining players apart from Ryuichi and Usagi because they've been swept down the stream. Then he gives chase to them, and he manages to pull himself up on a ledge, and Banda's there. Banda offers him, right, that's it, final chance, are you coming here, are you not? He pulls out the gun that I think Ryuichi had.
Yep.
And Arisu's like, I'll never become a citizen. And Banda goes to shoot him. And then the next thing, bang. Banda gets lasered from above. And we see some Undertaker-looking Asian guy in the background.
The Watchman. The Watchman appears.
Who I thought kind of looked like a crossover of Yugani without hair and Usagi's father. Turns out he was neither. At least I don't think he was.
Maybe he's both. Who knows?
Oh.
Could be, but I mean, this guy. So this guy is this guy. He's not really the big bad evil. He's kind of. He said it himself. He's the Watchman.
We also had Banda before that traveling. He travelled to the real world and tried to suffocate Arisu in his sleep to stop him from being able to return to the real world. So. Anne managed to stop him from doing that. I guess that was punishment. I guess it's similar to Squid Game, where we've seen in season 1 where the guard tried to help that doctor guy, and then that guard got killed. Maybe that went against the rules. Where Banda, is that going against the rules? Or where Banda's trying to kill Arisu in the real world to confine him to this Borderland world, this death world, and then he tried to just shoot him outside of a game. So maybe that goes against the rules.
Yeah, I think that's why the Watchmen killed him. But see this Banda guy, I thought he was good in season 2. I think this season he's just been hovering about like a bad smell.
I say he was good. He only really featured in that one game. I know he had that wee scene at the end where he looks up and is like, "I'm going to become a citizen," but he only really did feature.
Yeah,
in one game.
I feel like that was good for what it was. But it's like to portray him as like the big bad villain this season. Nah,
but I think the other guy had more. I think the other guy
more aura about him.
Yeah, he definitely did.
And he appeared once. Where was he?
Yeah,
he kind of looks like the son of the Watchman. Similar kind of attire.
So the Watchman then, after Arisu climbs up to the rocks, the Watchman offers...
He freezes time.
Yeah, he does some sort of weird chant.
Right, I'm going to put these cards down. If you get to pick up a Joker, I decide your fate. Picks up one of them. It's a Joker. Let me guess. This was a Joker. They're all Jokers. And he's like, nah. You were just unlucky. It was what was it? A 2. You picked 2 at the 366 and they were Jokers. Get it right, Rin Arisu.
Aye, so I mean, 54 cards and Arisu picked well, he didn't really pick them. The Joker pushed those 2 cards forward. Are we really... I mean, I think the Joker's probably got capabilities. Considering that we're in some sort of different reality universe, he's probably got the ability to see through cards and see what they are.
Oh, true. But this guy's not the Joker, he's the Watchman.
Yeah.
The Joker's just a concept, it's just a card, big man.
He then offers Arisu the choice that I think Arisu would have had if he didn't draw a Joker. So he's not going to decide his fate. He says you can pick life or death. And life is one way and death's the other way. But because Ryuji's dragging Usagi in towards the vortex, then I guess Arisu has to choose death, so he jumps in and he's trying to swim, trying to get closer to them, but Ryuji's still dragging Usagi towards the vortex, and then at the last minute, Arisu makes it to this rock, and Ryuji could have killed her, but then he decided just to swim over and put her into the hands of Arisu, and then push himself away, and he just dies, and I'm thinking, hold on, like...
Fuck?
This guy actually played a pretty big part this season. He was the one that wanted to go here. He wanted to find out more about this world, and in the end, did he find out anything, or did he just die?
Surely him getting back to the Land of the Living is him finding it. Him getting back to the Land of the Living is the good ending for him. Him just dying's the fucking waste. And then it's like, why are they supposed to care about him killing himself here when he pointed a gun to her head and then was trying to kill her anyway?
And I wonder why at the last minute he decided, no, I'm not going to do it.
I didn't understand this, man. This guy, again, I mean, an alright character, but flawed on many occasions. Just didn't really understand this, why he would go to these lengths, and then, as you said, at the last second, be like, fuck it. I mean, I didn't even talk about it. Like, I mean, it's like, it's a vortex. It's a tsunami. How the fuck are they... How is he carrying...
Yeah, realistically, they all should have been dragged in it.
Yeah. And then these two somehow make it up for the bottom, right to the top, and they let
that. And then again, if we're
after.
talking about realistically, then this show probably doesn't exist.
Yes, yes, but no, but let's not spew shite here. It's like in the first couple of seasons, well, there's only been 3, but it's like it did feel like it was in the real world. Like there wasn't anything happening. I mean, yeah, I know there's lasers coming through the skies, right? But the physics felt legit. It didn't feel like there was anything extraordinary happening. It felt real. It felt like it was in a real world. This stuff, this water shit is just completely fucking take me at it.
Yeah, Arisu then wakes up in the real world and says, oh, I thought you were gone, I had to bring you right back, you only had a couple more seconds left. He then thanks her and leaves, and that's the last we see of Anne. He then goes and reunites with Usagi, who's awake, says she's hungry. We then look across into the other little corridor, and we see Ryuji there getting the sheets placed over his head, which is never a good sign. So he obviously died. He's now in the land of the dead. And then we see Arisu leave. They're trying to pick names for their kid, and he decides he's going to leave. For some reason, you kept thinking he was going to die.
It felt like a goodbye, though, didn't it?
It felt like he's just going to walk outside and get hit by a car or something like that.
It would have been kind of funny.
We then see Arisu making his way through the city, and we get like little snips of the other characters that survived, the sister, the mother, the young kid.
The anime woman.
Yeah, the Ray, whatever she's called, blue hair.
It's going to be a movie. I can't remember.
So they were all kind of moving on with their lives, and yeah,
Who cares?
You got that? Yeah, they just I don't know. They weren't. Yeah, they weren't. I mean,
there's a reason why these guys got like a 10-second snippet each, and then the people for previous seasons they had to put back at the end because they're more important.
Yeah, and I just wish season 3 had these people, but for some reason they didn't. We then see Arisu doing interviews with his old acquaintances. He had Kiana, Heiea, Aguni, Naragi, and Chuisa. And yeah, they're talking about
life
and living. And Chuisa asks Arisu, "What makes you want to keep on living?" And he says, "Well, today it's picking the name of my son, or daughter, or child, or whatever." And then we get like a mini earthquake that I think appears on the Richter scale.
A few mini earthquakes. Oh, it's no tsunami risk. Then it turns out on the news. They're everywhere. Across
the Japanese guy tells us, it's alright, it's not just here they're happening in Europe, they're happening in America. And then speaking of America, we see two guys walking into a bar.
Feared the worst.
Yeah, I was convinced it was two gay men.
Then they started talking about football.
If they walked into a hotel room, I'd have been more concerned.
But the way they were talking about
I'm pretty sure it was baseball.
Well, the way they were talking about it, though, is as if they didn't have a fucking clue what they were on about.
Yeah, but
it's like me, because it's baseball.
And then one of them called the other one bro, and I thought, sorry, they're not going to start making it off the table with a red rose sitting in the middle. And then the waitress is taking their order, and she walks off, and at the end, the camera just focuses on her name tag, and she's called Alice, which I believe, as far as I'm aware, has absolutely nothing to do with this series. So it's not like, oh, look, but her name's in the... I'd be like, if Squid Game pointed to someone in a waitress and her name was like Squid, it wouldn't really mean anything.
Yeah,
I just think that's a pure coincidence.
Yes, I think it is. It doesn't mean that she's
the leader.
Or California.
Fuck, maybe it does. I don't know, but for me, it's got nothing. It's got nothing to do with that.
But let's say it is though. That just makes it even more fucking similar to the ending of Squid Game. A woman being the recruiter.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. I didn't really like this episode. It was too long. It dragged. The water sequence was fucking mind-boggling. The game...
Alright, so the name for Alice is Arisu in English, so... There you go. So... maybe this is the American version then. And it's going to be her in Borderlands, I guess. Maybe.
So how do Arisu is Alice in English?
Yeah.
So it must be a unisex name, or else Arisu's playing for the pink team.
I mean, maybe I don't know.
Catching, not pitching. I tell you what, Arisu's done a lot of pitching. Mm-hmm. He's fucking carried people, man, to victories.
Well, there you go. Are we looking at... What that just tells me is...
all these shows are Americanized. And they're going to be woke as fuck. And they've ruined them.
Yeah, I would argue the fact that they're on Netflix and they got like American mainstream, that I'd say they get made more woke that way in the first... I mean, if you look at Squid Game Season 2, there's no coincidence to me that that's when they include like a transgender in the show.
But why would both shows do America and this looks like LA?
I think it's just the fact that America want to capitalise into it, and they see a show that's done really well, and they're thinking, right, well, you know what, we can profit off this, and we can have our own American version.
Yeah, but like, why not use like a snowy New York? Like New York's the other big city in America, like the people think of.
I don't know.
It'd be a different contrast. Like, see, as soon as that cut to America, and we saw like those two guys speaking, you can clearly tell they're American. You saw the cars, you saw the bar. I was Squid Game. Everything was Squid Game.
Squid Game.
And I shouldn't be watching another show thinking of another show. I should be thinking about that show.
Well, to be fair, they're pretty similar shows, so...
They are, but...
I mean, that was it. I don't know what I was hoping for, but I was kind of hoping for something else.
I thought the final game just died on its arse. Honestly, I was expecting like everyone else to die, maybe. Apart from like the wheelchair guy and their two mains. But they didn't. They just survived. And the whole water sequence just lasted too long.
I really didn't like the way Arisu stays behind but lives anyway.
Yeah.
And what was the fucking point? I don't know. That was just anticlimactic, and
that just goes. But I think that goes against him being a good player. It's like he's been helped along the way with shit like this. Then.
Yeah. I actually think it would have been better if someone sacrificed themselves and stayed behind and died.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would have been better than what we got. He stays behind, but then like 5 minutes later, he manages to break out anyway. I don't know.
Bit pointless.
Just seemed a little bit lackluster to me, and then
she mourns him, and then he's back saving her 2 minutes later.
Yeah, felt a bit cheap.
Like maybe that's
say what you want about Squid Game, but at least they committed with the Ji-hun death.
They did,
and I thought they were going down that route with Arisu. And this,
Arisu's had a sex change in LA.
Yeah, that was another one of the similarities that I thought they were going with. Oh, the main character's going to sacrifice, and technically did. I mean, it is a bit similar where like in that, only one person can advance.
Aye, yeah.
And in this one one person had to stay behind. So it was a bit similar to Squid Game, where Ji-hun was either him or the baby.
I'm just glad the baby didn't factor in too much here. I mean, it helped obviously, but it wasn't a massive part.
Yeah, but the baby had one. Let's say they used up all the points on the babies. What would have happened?
Yeah, we don't really know what would have happened, but
because I mean, the rest of them had the bracelets wrapped around their necks. Obviously, the baby doesn't have that. And can they really put a laser on the baby and not kill Usagi? I don't know. Either way, guys, that was it.
I think the final season's been very messy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's looked very CGI, AI generated. I said to him when we watched it, see the first 2 seasons, the world felt real. Right? Like, I remember they made a big deal out of, I remember the tapes and like the vegetation.
Yeah.
And this season, it's just felt like, it's felt like we've just made a 3rd season for the sake of a 3rd season. And also, the key thing, the cat is out the bag. We now know what the Borderlands is. I guess in season 1 and 2 we didn't really know till the end of season 2. So I guess that is, I mean, here, why make the world look real when we know what the situation is? I get that, but yeah, I think the season's been very underwhelming, and is it too much to ask for any of these shows to actually fucking end better than what they started? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit similar to Squid Game as well. That season 3 was by far the worst season.
Yeah, like easily.
Like, what I would say is that I think Squid Game season 3 wasn't helped, and that was probably always going to be the worst season because it really wasn't a season 3. It was just like a season 2 cut into 2 parts.
Yeah.
Although you could still argue it had a better chance of being better than the first part of season 2. But yeah, nah, this was disappointing. Right, I'll give the finale. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, it was all right. I was just hoping for more. I also think that we should have got more deaths.
Absolutely.
We did get Ryuichi died. When I say he sacrificed himself, he just fucking committed suicide essentially.
To see the land of the dead.
And Banda died.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised
if
we never see any of these characters again.
Why? No, I don't think we'll see them again.
Yeah, so kill them.
I don't think we'll see any Squid Game characters again if they do a Squid Game American version.
And see when that's the case, may as well kill people. Nothing to lose. Not everything needs to be the happy ending.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they wanted to do something different for Squid Game and not get the happy ending, or give the happy ending because they didn't. But either or, man, someone was copying someone's homework.
I just think too many people survived season 2 and season 3. Like, I get it. Season 1, a lot of people have to survive, so you can have a season 2. I mean, that makes sense. I get that. Season 2 was like the end of the comic book, so therefore you don't have
That's probably why it's a clusterfuck.
You don't have to keep people alive. But they did keep a lot of people alive, especially after you thought they died in Game 7 or Episode 7. So I thought, well, if they kept them alive, it must be because they have big plans for them in Season 3, but they didn't. Yeah, you could argue that they brought them back here at the end for the wee interviews, but do you think that was really necessary? That didn't. What did that add? No, but you could have had like 1 or 2 interviews. You didn't need to have all of them.
No, but you see, I think this entire fucking season's pointless. Who actually died of note? No one. He goes in for her. They both make it out with a kid, right? The guy in the wheelchair dies. But he didn't exist to this season. All right, Banda dies. Who cares? And then all the other returning characters lived. This is pointless. Season 2 could have ended the exact same way with that wee LA snippet to give you. this season's complete filler. At least what you could say with Squid Game is they killed off pretty much everybody and Ji-hun, and therefore it wasn't pointless. I would argue this is completely pointless.
Yeah, I agree with that, and also I just think
you're looking at like 7 hours here of TV time that you don't really need.
I also thought. I also thought there was like the lack of game masters. I get it, Banda was there, other dude was there, but it just felt like there was players. I felt like the players were playing against themselves. Like in season 1, you kind of had like the beach authority figures at the beach that were kind of in control, and they were like almost deemed as the antagonists. Then obviously in season 2, you've got the game masters, but I mean in season 3, you didn't have anybody really. Yeah, you'd Banda who appeared the odd time, but there was no like. But in season 2, it was the players against the game masters, and you know whoever died, whoever lost the game died. There was big stakes there.
Like what happened to Banda and wheelchairs deal? Just not even mentioned.
Yeah,
he tried to pull the gun. That was it.
I think it would have made more sense if that wheelchair guy sacrificed himself to kill Banda to save Arisu.
Yeah,
that would have made more sense to me. And also like the guy, the watchman that was playing as the Joker or whatever, he was alright, but to me, he didn't. I think the Game Masters in season 2 had more of a aura to them.
No, I agree. Again, he wasn't the Joker, but he was the Watchman. But then I don't know. It's just a bit shite, unnecessary. It's a season for the sake of a season.
Yeah, like who's the woman that was in the final game season 2? And that game was shit, but she just seemed more.
Aye, with the drinking.
Aye,
platform.
You know the way they're playing that croquet or whatever?
Aye.
She just seemed more, I don't know, maybe not just had more aura, just seemed more intimidating.
Worthy of being that level.
Aye,
this guy seemed like he couldn't be asked for his job.
Yeah, this guy is supposed to be, he's the top man, he's the guy that watches over it. He's like the head of these games, and it's like, no, the people that came before him in season 2 actually seemed...
Well, he must be, because he killed that Banda guy with the lightning shit.
Yeah.
The laser, so... Anyway, folks, I'll agree with a 5 out of 10. But we always bash shows where you could say you could skip a season. You could very easily skip this because no one died. If Arisu sacrificed himself and died, then this becomes must watch. But they took that out, and therefore it's like,
maybe they didn't want to be compared to Squid Game even more, so they thought, fuck it, we kind of have to keep them alive.
Aye, definitely. But anyway, folks.
Yeah, what would you give the season overall?
I'd probably give it
5 or a 6, I'd say.
5.5. Like I said, if you could literally skip a season,
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't
good.
It was nowhere near.
It was run of the mill. It didn't blow me away. The games felt very rushed or underwhelming.
3 years for this did feel like a cash grab, didn't it? And also, it was 2 episodes shorter. It literally did feel same amount of episodes as Squid Game season 3. It literally did feel as if they kind of just did it to get a 3rd season.
Well, that's exactly what it is. So
anyway, that's it, guys. Till next time. Peace.